Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer Show. This is a show where we talk about stuff, play you some music, and encourage you to be creative. This season, we are exploring the art of being human. We want to say thank you to our patrons who support us each month. If you want to know more about that, visit us on patreon.com/Chasing Ebenezer. For more information about our musical endeavors, visit chasingebenezer.com. We hope you enjoy the show.
Well, hi there, and welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer Show. We're glad to be back in 2023 with new episodes. I'm Heidi, and this is Benjamin, and we've been talking for more than a year about the art of being human, and
we're going to keep it going.
We're still human, so as long as we have ideas about this and art, we will keep doing that. So we'll get to our little chat in a few minutes.
That's right.
But we just want to say thank you to our patrons.
Yes, thank you so much for those who support us each month. If you are not on Patreon yet and supporting us, and you want to, you can go on patreon.com, search for Chasing Ebenezer, and pick your dollar amount. It gives you different perks. And this year we're doing a different perk. We've changed it up a little bit. For the past, I don't know how long, we've been giving you a monthly poem. Now, instead of a monthly poem, we're going to be giving you a piece of artwork, usually designed by this beautiful human over here.
But you might also do one.
Might happen. Who knows?
So that'll be for every dollar amount. And then there's other perks for different dollar amounts. So thank you for giving.
Yes.
And we're going to have new music out this year. We've been working on arranging our full album with the full band. But we're going to have some singles out.
Yes.
From the duo portion.
Yeah, I've been this is my first time self-producing and recording and trying to do it like in a way that's like really professional. And I've learned a lot.
Not crappy.
But it's been a really fun experience, and we're excited to get one of those singles out for you soon, and probably have a couple more as well. I'm really enjoying the process of figuring out how to do it. So yeah. What are you excited about these days?
I'm excited that we went snowshoeing a couple times already. We got each other snowshoes for Christmas, and it's just been really fun.
Yeah, it has been a lot of fun learning how to do it, and it wasn't a bad experience. We didn't have any trauma. Well, except the first time we spent the first hour figuring out
getting
how
out of
to
the parking lot was the
on.
hardest part.
Once we got in the snow, that was easy. Once we learned how to thread the little thing through the clips.
I kept breaking them and been having to fix them. So it took like about an hour once we got there to actually get from the car.
We were a sight to see.
But once we got to the snow, it was great.
Yeah, it was fun. It's so beautiful. I love so much how like it feels, like how the snow like makes everything so silent. That is like the most peaceful feeling in the world. So I love snowshoeing. I love it. It's great. But I have to be excited about something else, so let me think. Yeah, I'm excited about some of the new music we're working on with the band. We've been working on these for probably about a year, and just seeing how some of these songs are starting to take shape, see them finally kind of settle into what they're going to be, has been a really exciting thing for me to see, and I'm grateful for that. My humanity, on the other hand. I've been feeling a lot of my humanity in the form of seasonal depression. If you live in the Northwest, you know it gets dark at around 3-ish. And I've been finding that like my mood has been all over the place this year and just dipping and getting depressed. So I've been feeling my humanity that way lately. And so if you're like that, you're not alone. How are you feeling yours?
Oh, well, I have been excited I started driving for DoorDash this past week, and I just really enjoy being able to just have a couple seconds of interaction with lots of different people and bring them their food, and it's been really fun.
Cool.
Yeah, people are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I learned there's so many more restaurants out there than I thought.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, there's restaurants I get orders from that I didn't even know were out there. So it's kind of interesting just to, like, get a taste of the city. So it's been really fun.
Nice. Well, for this week's episode, we are going to be talking about remembering and forgetting. Or is it forgetting and remembering?
I forgot, so
Okay.
I don't know.
So
Either and or they go together.
Right. So we're going to talk about that.
So one of the reoccurring dreams that I have is that I'm in a college class that I've completely forgotten about. And I wake up like the last week of class and I haven't studied. There's a final. And like, what an idiot. How could you not remember that you're in this class? And, So I don't know if you've had that experience in real life where you're like, how could I have forgotten that thing? And it's a terrible feeling to forget to do something that's important. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a similar dream, but it's usually connected to either church or playing music. And I've gotten there really late and I'm having to hurry and set up, and everybody, like including the crowd, is waiting for me to finish. And that
There's also been a lot of things, though, good things. There's just so many things from childhood that I've forgotten, and it's not till I see a picture or I see an item that I'll remember. Oh my goodness, how did I forget about this event? Or so it's just very strange, the things that we remember and the things that we don't remember. We can't always control that, and so it's just very. Our brains are so interesting, and yeah.
Well, in everyday life, what are some things that you tend to naturally forget?
To clean. I'm not great at housekeeping, so it's like I don't remember till 10 o'clock at night. Oh my goodness, there's no laundry. I'll remember all these other things, but I forget to transfer enough money into the checking account to pay the bill that's due. So I'm scrambling, trying to figure out. I mean, any number of things. I'll forget what day it is. I mean, I know a lot of us, especially the last few years, all the days ran together, and then we forget, what day is this? Yeah. What year is this?
Yeah, I think I tend to forget, like if I've planned my own day, and then someone throws something on top of it, like kind of offhand, mainly you. I will tend to.
I throw you a zinger.
I will tend to forget that activity because I'm usually focused on something else.
Oh, you mean if I've told you?
You've told me, or we have something gets put on the calendar and it's 3 weeks away. If it's not today or tomorrow, I usually don't think about it.
Oh, you're very like right now.
Yeah.
As opposed to I'm like 7 years from now, and I'm not aware of what's going on.
So it's like, we're hanging out with people. Oh, okay, cool. That those kind of things I tend to forget. I used to be really bad about forgetting my own appointments. Like I would schedule to meet with people, and this is when this is like work, and I would be in another task, and the person would call and say, "Hey, where are you?" And so now I have like this visceral fear of standing somebody up.
Yeah.
Because that was something I used to forget a lot. Yeah. What do you tend to forget creatively?
I forget how to count music sometimes. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll look at sheet music, and if there's a really weird time signature, it's like if I think about it too hard, I can't figure it out. It's like I'll question myself. Or if I practice something almost too much, then I'll suddenly forget.
Oh, if you overpractice.
If I overpractice,
okay, yeah.
And then I just blow it because I'm so especially sheet music is very hard for me sometimes. If there's lots of 16th notes and crazy, then it's like I can't count anymore. So.
Yeah, usually for me, it'll come down to, and it didn't used to be this way. Like when I would write songs, I could write it in the moment and remember it. Like whether it was melody, lyrics, I usually was able to just have a really solid memory. But now I'm finding that like what I write, like let's say I come up with something, spend a couple hours writing a song, and I get it all down. A couple hours later, or like the next day, I'll just sit down and try to play. I'm like, wait, how did this go? I'll forget how to do that. So what I've started doing now is I actually do
a little recording.
Do my phone recording so I don't forget, and it's been very helpful to do. So I do that sometimes, though. I don't know if this is this way for you, but like if I am stressed out in a performance, I will suddenly forget like certain chords that I'm playing in a song.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've
Yeah,
played
yeah.
a lot of our songs in our
I'll
shows
look at my hand and
thousands
think,
of
wait,
times.
how do I play that chord? I've
Right.
played 1,000 times.
Yeah, or I'll be
stress, definitely.
Yeah, stress forgetting.
Boo.
That'll do it. Yeah. What do you think are some other causes? Like, so stress can cause forgetting. What are some of the things you think that cause you to forget?
I think moving too quickly so that you're not really fully present to a task at a time, or when someone's talking to you, if you're not really listening. Stress.
Stress definitely does it.
One of the things that I've been thinking about a lot, and maybe this is something you were going to bring up as well, is that when we have fear or anxiety, we can forget all the times that things have worked out, or all the ways. Like anytime a bill comes up, like, how are we going to get this bill paid? This wasn't expected. I forget all the thousands of times that's happened before, and it's worked out. It's kind of like we can really forget the good things that have already happened. It's almost like we start with a blank slate, which
Right.
is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like our brain is trained to block, which is weird. Like it blocks out extreme trauma, which sometimes that's good for the time being, right? But it also blocks out like the good things and can zero in on the negative. Yeah. That's, boy, do I struggle with that. Oh my gosh. Well, this kind of bridges between forgetting and remembering, but like sometimes, and it especially happens and I notice with us when we get ready to go on vacation or we get ready to rest, all of a sudden there's this hyper memory of everything.
I forgot to do this. I forgot to do this. How am I suddenly remembering this now?
Right. It's an adrenaline response. And what also tends to happen is those things that you remember or that I remember, because it's not just you. I remember going on vacation and I would be thinking to myself, oh, I took care of everything for my job. And then like the second I'm on vacation, every single little minute detail that I forgot comes to the forefront. And all of a sudden I'm stressed out. And then I'm stressed about telling you. And then I'm not resting or enjoying vacation. And I need a vacation from my vacation. It happens so much. And your brain like blows it up.
Yeah.
Like
sure.
it's, oh, I forgot to send an email about something that's happening in 2 months. You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And the other thing too is when we make a mistake or screw up, we can also, forget who we are as a whole person. We can forget the good parts of ourselves when there's a bad part that comes up. So we need people around us to remind us, okay, you screwed up in that way, but that's not your identity. That's not who you are. So we just often forget all good things and can remember all the bad. And so it's a discipline. It's a lifelong thing.
This is true.
Do you like this hand
I do.
movement
It's
here
great.
I'm making? Yeah.
It's great. So we've talked about things that cause us to forget, like stress, fear, moving too fast. That's what you said. Multitasking is another one. I know for me, if I'm so in the middle of another task that I will forget something that comes in from the side. So if there's things that cause us to forget, what are some things that cause us to remember? Whether it's jogging our memory over something we're trying to figure out or good moments that come up. What are some things that do that for you?
I think slowing down. I think when I hang out with kids, it reminds me of what's really important in life, and it brings joy. I think that joy just helps oftentimes settle things into place and kind of, and so, things like that. I think helping other people, not focusing on self. I don't know. It can just help things to settle. Keeping lists, of course, writing things down, and just starting the day off peacefully and just trying to start a quiet morning.
Yeah.
Definitely can just affect the entire day. So.
Yeah. I think sometimes listening to music that you used to listen to when you were younger can jog memory, good memories. It can make you remember where you were when you first heard the song, and then that leads you to remember the season of life that you were in then. So that can be kind of fun.
Yeah, being intentional with it, which is really hard, especially eating on the fly or whatever. Being intentional just kind of helps bring things to a peaceful place and can settle our minds. So
Yes.
I'm working on it.
I'm finding that when I lose something, and I can't tell you how many times this happens, whether it's my keys, whether we're getting ready to film an episode and I've misplaced one of the many essential pieces of equipment that I have. When I am stressed, it does not jog my memory at all. In fact, it leads me on a huge dysfunctional treasure hunt that yields no results. But stopping and being calm, it's like it almost gives my brain permission to recall where I put things. So, yeah, I think calming is a very important thing. So, why is remembering such an important thing for a creative?
Well, because oftentimes when we're experiencing something in the moment, we don't really see how it has affected our personhood. So maybe I remember someone as a child who was kind to me and helped me, and I'm realizing now, all these years later, wow, that one person had an effect on my life. Yeah, just sometimes time helps us to understand the impact. And it can be painful too. It doesn't always have to be a positive thing, but a lot of deep art comes from time and reflection. And so remembering can help us kind of see the journey. It also, when we're thinking about other people, we can become more empathetic when we recall or remember what that person's been through, and then that makes us deeper at understanding, and that creates great art too. So
That's good.
just a few thoughts.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think everything you said, I agree with. Yeah, I was just thinking about this because, like, I know for me, like, not just remembering events, but remembering feelings and remembering, like you said, personhood is so important. When I wrote the song about my grandfather, that was one of those things where it was one of the quickest songs I've ever written in my life, because in that moment I was having feelings in the present about him and about myself as an adult. And then when I started writing about that, all of a sudden it was like going back to all the other things that happened when he was alive and how I felt and how loved I felt. And so it was a very sweet time writing that song, but it came from a space of like, actually, it's like one built upon the other. As I remembered one thing, then I remembered another thing and another and another and another. But it took a little bit of intentional reflection. One thing that I found helpful, I'm doing this now. Some of you know, I always do this wrong.
Julia Cameron.
It's Julia.
It's Julia Cameron.
Julia Cameron, the artist way. I knew I was going to do it because I almost did the thing I did. But one of the tools that she gives you in that book is called Daily Pages, which is basically you free write 3 pages.
It's a brain dump.
It's a brain dump. And I have found that to be one of the most helpful things in my creative life and just in my emotional life as well. Because as I'm writing stuff down, I'm making connections but I'm not trying to make connections. I'm just writing, and all of a sudden I'll make a connection. If I'm feeling depressed, I will be able to suddenly identify why I'm feeling depressed, or what is a belief and what was that anchored in my past. So writing stuff down is so helpful in remembering deep things. I mean, there's a difference between making a list and journaling, right? Like making a list helps you remember things in the future, but I think journaling helps you remember things in the past that are maybe driving some of your emotions.
Ooh, very deep.
So.
You're so deep.
It's what I do.
One of the things I love is doing music in retirement homes and memory care, because as we age, we need those things sometimes to spark not just the memory, but it helps other people around too. If we're younger, we can look at people of a different age and think that we don't have anything in common, which is not true at all. Not so long ago, they were our age. And so when people start singing and they perk up and come alive, then we remember that we're all humans. We're all on a journey. We've all been young. We're all going to be old or older.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just so helpful to remember that we don't have any clue what another person's gone through, and creativity and art can be that connector in helping tie that around. And memory care is just, it's amazing what music does. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's good. So what are some prompts you would suggest?
Go volunteer and do something at a retirement home or a memory care unit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Doing any kind of service project, anything that gets you, because I really appreciate what you said, that gets you out of being self-focused.
I'm really good at that. I'm good at self-focus.
I'm an expert at it. Oh my gosh. One other thing I would encourage is if you are an artist and you want to just fall into the day, you're going to forget a lot of things. So please make lists. Make lists of what you want to accomplish. Make lists of things that you need to do so that you don't forget them. That's really practical, but I find that I get less stressed when I make a list. It's a good thing. Also, if you're an artist, especially if you're musical, record what you do. Like, as you're playing and, I found something fun, great. Good. Record it. It doesn't have to be a good recording. Just record it so you don't forget it. Think of it like as an audio journal.
One of the things you could do, if you've seen our logo, it's the Ebenezer stones. Sometimes it's called a cairn, which originally this was something that the Hebrew people, they would build these altars of remembrance. So we have that as our logo, remembering the good things of the past in order to have hope and joy for the present and in the future, especially when there's that anxiety. So giving thanks to God for the past. That way we don't become so negative.
Right.
Because
that's
easy to do.
really easy to do.
So you can make your own little altar. Some people have done it in their homes. Some people have done it as they go hiking. They find rocks and stack them. You'll see that here in the gorge. You'll see, someone made a little rock tower thing.
It's pretty cool.
So you could do that. You could draw one or do your own version of that.
It's a good idea. One other thing to kind of help from getting negative and to be present, because part of our memory is part of the thing about remembering is being present in the moment that you're in. So something I've started doing, I don't do it consistently, but like whether I'm driving or I'm out, and if I feel myself starting to drift into worry or negativity, I pause and I ask myself, okay, what is one thing good that's happening right now? And I give thanks for that. What is one thing that is true that's happening right now? And then what is one thing that is beautiful? And I find that it kind of helps me be a little bit more present and less negative, which I need that. And it helps me just to stay in the moment and remember good things.
So we're going to play you a song. It's winter right now, so we're going to do a summer song.
That's right.
So here's Drink Darlin, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Bye, guys.
All right, bye.
Summer day, hot and weary, I came upon a wood. Green and tall, the trees grew, did my wild heart good. There in a hollow stood a well wide of blue. My dry throat, it sang a song, painted grateful true. Oh, drink, my darling, drink, water sweet, my love deep. Oh, drink, my darling, drink, never thirst, no more weep. Drink, my
darling, drink. Hovering by the well, a man appeared to me. His dark eyes reflected all my hopes and dreams. With hands thick and careless, he drew the bucket out. He offered me a crystal cup, purest water found. And he said, drink, my darling, drink the water sweet, my love deep. Oh, drink, my darling, drink, never thirst, no more weep. Oh, drink, my darling, drink. Well, a weekend, 6 days later, I knew if I became the man with the water. He gave me his name, and now every evening, as that sun sets in the west, we walk hand in hand to our forest place of rest. And we sing, dream, my darling, dream, life is sweet, not love deep. Oh, dream, my darling, dream, never thirst, no more weep. Oh, you dream, my darling, dream, life is sweet, not love deep. Oh, you dream, my darling, dream, never thirst, no more weep. Drink, my darling,